deliver justice when a case has become a cultural and political spectacle. So here to break it all down for us this morning is research fellow Thomas A. Roe Institute for Economic Policy Studies lawyer Alan Mendenhall, as well as senior counsel at the Lawfare Project, Gerard Felitti. Guys, this is the big one. I mean, we've seen it, obviously, the Menendez brothers. You've got O.J. Simpson. I mean, when things become this big of a spectacle, Gerard, let me start with you here. I mean, how common is it truly to have a completely anonymous jury? And what makes this case so different, do you think?
Well, it's not common at all, and we need to clarify that this anonymity is meant for the public, not for the defense. So there is no issue for the defendant's ability to know information about the jury. But what we've seen, Alex, is we've seen people come into the courtroom with T-shirts saying innocence. We've seen 10 to 20% of people surveyed think that even if Mangione is guilty, he should not be convicted. You see his supporters acting in a threatening manner towards the DA's office. So this is really a spectacle, and we want to keep the jury safe. The fact that it's getting this much attention from people who support his actions really speaks to the need for jury anonymity, because we don't want jury tampering or intimidation.
Yeah, I mean, I can't remember just in the past few years something that has garnered this much attention and crazily enough, love for somebody who has been accused of murder. But Alan, so defense attorneys, they've really been pushing hard for greater media access. But I guess the question is, where's the line between transparency and then protecting the trial?
Well, it's a fine line, and the judge here is very experienced. Yesterday was the final pretrial hearing. The judge is a former prosecutor himself. He's been a judge for over 25 years. His dad was a judge, so he knows what's going on. He's experienced. He ordered this anonymous jury. He ordered an overflow room. And I think prosecutors are rightly concerned about juror intimidation, witness intimidation, and courtroom disruption. So what the judge is trying to get ahead of is any type of juror contact, threats, bribery. He doesn't want to have to deal with contempt of court stuff and having to punish people who threaten, harass, or intimidate these jurors. He doesn't want to have to question jurors about extraneous influences or excuse them and then name alternate jurors or even declare a mistrial. As a wise philosopher once said, ain't nobody got time for that. He doesn't want to deal with all that.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Yeah, this story's not going away anytime soon, but I do want to switch gears, guys. So, Gerard, the ACLU asking a federal judge to block the Trump administration's newest birthright citizenship orders, arguing that they conflict with the Constitution and a recent Supreme Court ruling. What is going on here?
Well, ACLU suing Trump should no longer be a headline. It's a weekly occurrence. But in this case, they're a little bit early because the regulations that accompany this executive order haven't even come out yet. So the ACLU is trying to get ahead of it with a case that's not quite ready to proceed. Now, ultimately, President Trump issued this executive order to fit the narrow exceptions the Supreme Court issued in its birthright ruling. And we will see the Supreme Court likely rule on this again. But I think right now we're seeing the ACLU being very eager to protect the right of illegal immigrants to come to America and give birth and have citizen babies. And this is the problem, ultimately, that we're not seeing more widespread support for upholding America's immigration laws. Instead, we are focused on trying to defeat Trump's initiatives.
That's exactly right. I mean, Alan, there's been so many arguments here. I mean, what about the administration's argument that there are legitimate exceptions? I mean, of course, and that concerns children of foreign diplomats. I mean, should they automatically receive U.S. citizenship?
Yeah, I mean, this executive order is much narrower than the 2026 order. So it addresses children of foreign diplomats, as you say, children of foreign government employees, certain foreign government employees, those with immunity, children of alien enemies, and getting at the birthright tourism, the commercial tourism issue. And so it's not the same issue. We've got a different issue. And, this birthright citizen tourism is an important thing. I remember this Wall Street Journal article recently profiling this Chinese billionaire who was paying many, many women to have children, and he had a lot of children, and stuff like that is pretty much outrageous. These new orders are prospective, they're narrower, they're based on different legal theories. They actually take into account the Supreme Court's ruling on birthright citizenship. They're carved out with that ruling in mind. So for the ACLU to act as if this is sort of the exact same order all over again is incorrect.
I mean, Gerard, then you look at arguments like, we don't want somebody from some terrorist group coming over, sending people over, having babies, and say that, oh, they're just as much of a U.S. citizen as you and I. I mean, how can the ACLU argue something like that?
Well, it's the ACLU. That's what they argue. And the issue ultimately is we're seeing within the United States people who are born here, people who are not terrorist sympathizers who do support terrorists. We see the DSA. We see what's happening with elections now. Do we really want foreign terrorists to come into this country and have that anchor with citizenship? Voters who will vote for the next generation of un-American ideas? Absolutely not. The American people never voted for birthright citizenship. We never voted to allow this to happen. So for the president to be closing these loopholes that allow terrorists and people who are passport shopping to come to the U.S. and have citizens, it's the right thing to do because no American voted for this.
Yeah, I just find this absurd. And Alan, I'm gonna throw something out there that's gonna sound absolutely absurd, but I've seen people arguing it, of course, all over the corners of social media. Is there any way legally to prevent somebody from entering the United States from a foreign country, let's say a terrorist country, who is very visibly, let's say, 8 months pregnant, when it seems like that's going to be exactly what their plan is? Is there any legal justification there to say, yeah, you're not going to fly to the United States?
Well, not necessarily to stop them from getting in. I think what this executive order is designed to do is to have, in that situation, to have the child born of that person not automatically count as a citizen. It wouldn't stop that person from getting in into the country, assuming they're doing it lawfully and not, illegally immigrating in. But if that person has a visa and is coming in through normal channels, then you can't stop that person from coming in. But the goal is to stop that person's child from automatically qualifying for citizenship.
Yeah, the arguments are interesting. Again, to think that somebody, let's say, like you mentioned, a Chinese billionaire sending people over there to have however many kids, just insane to me. Gerard Filitti, Alan Mendenhall, great discussion this morning, gentlemen. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, coming up, a lot